What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look, breaking news. This just in an article by ESPN, former undisputed lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez almost died in his fight with George Kambosos Jr. According to this report by ESPN, Teofimo Lopez's doctor, Dr. Linda Dahl, has diagnosed Teofimo Lopez with pneumomediastinum. Now, if you don't know what that is when free air is in the space between the lungs, which may give rise to pneumothorax and compromise the lungs or the heart, meaning that Teofimo Lopez had air where it shouldn't be, around the heart, around his throat. And according to his doctor, Linda Dahl, she has no idea how he survived the 12-round fight against George Kambosos Jr., saying it is like breathing with a 300-pound weight on your chest and lungs. Now, Teofimo Lopez had this complication before the fight, recalling having to sit down in a restaurant and his father, Teofimo Lopez Sr., trying to see if he had to burp or see what was going on, if it was just acid reflux. Now, Teofimo Lopez Jr. said that he was struggling before the fight, but he thought it was all due to his asthma, and he contemplated not fighting. But he just did not want to hear the boxing fans out there call him a duck or claim that he's avoiding his fight with George Kambosos Jr. Now, we all know that this fight was delayed time after time again, and he has experience with the boxing fans challenging his medical situation. We all remember that one of the delays were due to Teofimo Lopez Jr. having COVID-19, and many fans, they just called bullshit on that one. So Teofimo Lopez figured, hey, I'm just going to go on with the fight, which was not the smartest idea. Now, his doctor, Linda Dahl, said that he could have died before the fight. He definitely could have died during the fight, not just due to his lungs and his breathing being compromised, but if George Kambosos Jr. would have punched him anywhere in the throat area or somewhere around the chest area, he could have collapsed then. And Dr. Linda Dahl said that he could have died after the fight. Teofimo Lopez Jr. wanted to go back home, fly back home to see his child, and she recommended that he not, saying that he could not even be able to travel by plane due to his breathing complications. Now, many of Lopez's fans did complain and did notice that Teofimo Lopez did not look quite like himself. Now, Lopez's team and Lopez himself thought it was asthma, maybe saw it as the rehydration after the weight cut. But Lopez himself said he did not feel like himself, but he did not know that the issue was this critical. And that kind of explains the lack of Teofimo Lopez's output in his fight against George Kambosos Jr. Now, listen, this has come from his doctor. This is a real diagnosis, and this should be considered as a serious issue for Teofimo Lopez now and his future and his career in boxing. Boxing is a very difficult sport, and I know us as boxing fans, we are very hard on our athletes. And because of that, a lot of times our athletes, due to the pressure, they respond irrationally. And due to that pressure, Teofimo Lopez put his life on the line. I see this as a huge wake-up call to boxing athletes, to combat sports athletes, and combat sports fans. Look, no one is going to take the victory from George Kambosos Jr. That was a decision made by the Lopez team. You all know, to me, George Kambosos Jr. is now the undisputed lightweight champion. But with that said, I hope Teofimo Lopez Jr. recovers well. I hope that he continues to monitor this and his situation with his breathing. I hope he doesn't ignore it, and I hope this resonates to other combat athletes. Don't let me or any other boxing fan or combat sport fan push you into putting your life in this much jeopardy. It's just not worth it. Please let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. ShowBizz, well, adult, I'm out.